So I was reading the Intellivision _Amico Reddit earlier today, just casually browsing. I've started keeping up with it since I've been following the event of last week where a hornet's nest was stirred, where an individual, Smash JT, basically denounced wanting to be a part of any kind of publicly supporting the Intellivision Amico after certain decisions were made. His red flag was the CEO now being named Phil Adams. Phil Adams has a history with projects such as the Calico Chameleon. We all know how that went. And this steered like a infighting between Amico supporters and Smash JT. If you were following social media, especially on Twitter, you saw that there was like an exchange of words between him and other individuals. Voice messages were left in DMs that were leaked out. There was even a live stream where an individual basically came out and inadvertently, I guess whatever goal they were having of exposing Smash JT as a backstabber, basically bit them in the butt, in my opinion. It was definitely an admission of guilt from where I see. So what's the problem here, guys? Well, I guess these individuals, the Amico supporters, I'm not going to call them the cult. I'm not here to insult anybody or try to call anybody out, but I'm going to tell it like it is. And you don't have to like it. I don't care if you like it or not. Here's where things get messy, right? So Smash JT spoke up, and instantly all the people involved with the Amico kind of like, I guess, grabbed their pitchforks and were like, oh, you know, he's blocked and he's a backstabber and he betrayed a friend. He betrayed Tommy, who is our friend. And oh, let me just go ahead and play the audio clip. I have an audio clip. We're going to listen to what I feel is an admission of guilt. This was the problem, supposedly, that they had with Smash JT. And they're going to admit that they actually were walked through PR documents, essentially, SEC filing before it came live. So these people were privy to private info. And I'm going to explain why that's kind of bothersome as well. But let's listen.
Right? For the haters who are going to come here, let me just inform you that not only did Smash JT know about that SEC file way before everyone else did, because we were all in a freaking Google Hangout call with Jeff while Tommy was explaining to us what was going to happen.
All right, so real quick, right there, Jeff was aware, along with us, early, before everybody, that they were on a Google call, and Tommy himself was explaining what was going to happen. Now, I know elsewhere in that stream, the individual that you just heard was all like, oh, it's getting scoops because we're news sources, it's getting scoops. What happened to sending scoops to IGN? Or Ars Technica, or Kotaku, or websites, journalists that are not biased? What happened to that? Instead, Intellivision's essentially getting people that they're having these secret meetings with. They are essentially coaching each other through how to handle haters, people that make videos, people that are negative. It's like a coaching / I guess exclusive boys club for the Intellivision Amico. And that's okay. I can understand you're going to have your close friends, your tight-knit circle, your clique. But the problem here is that these people are getting answers and information in private PR documents before investors are, before actual full-fledged investors. So there's a difference between somebody being a Start Engine investor, like just a casual, like if I go on a Start Engine and I pledge, and then actual legit huge investors that were in the first round of funding that have been met with radio silence. Apparently there's messages on the current Start Engine and Republic page that are like almost months old, like 22 days, I believe was one of them, where they're asking legitimate questions about information and they're being met with radio silence. But Intellivision's quick to respond to troll comments and haters and give private info and group chats and stuff. And that is where things are starting to look a little scammy. It's like prepping for a storm instead of just keeping full transparency. You always hear that Intellivision is transparent, and I heard this individual that was talking saying, "Oh, 8-Bit Eric's making videos about this out of nowhere, and he don't get it. He don't get it. He don't understand." No, your freaking big mouth coming out and basically admitting that you guys were privy to secret information is going to ruin things and make it worse for Intellivision. Whether you see it or not. Now let's continue the rest of this clip real quick. Let's listen to the rest of what they said.
When this went public and explained to us literally for 2 hours or so. Literally
2 hours.
75 pages, all 75 pages.
75
Smash
pages.
JT was there, and it was broken down to him with the rest of us to explain what it was and everything. And Smash JT was there, and he didn't say shit. He didn't say a goddamn thing.
This just gets...
So that's the issue, is that they were on a private call. I believe a screenshot was even posted on Twitter that showed who was in it. And basically, to me, that's admittance to this shady crap. The fact that there was a call alone going over 75 pages, whether Smash said something about it or not at the time, what are you angry about? Are you angry that he stabbed you guys in the back and came out with all this information that does not look good? That he finally was like, you know what, this is starting to look kind of scammy and I want out? Are you mad that the gig is up? Because that's what it sounds like. You know, that, yeah, he stabbed you in the back, but he also exposed legitimate concerns for investors. This individual says they have not contributed $1. They're not even a shareholder. They don't have any stocks. They have no shares. Of course, they're not going to give a fuck if they're privy to private info and investors aren't, because it's not their money being lost. But an investor such as Smash, who spent $10,000 on the project, has a concern. It doesn't matter if he says it then or a year fucking later. He's a $10,000 investor. He has every right to throw a concern on that. It almost sounds like it was a plan like, hey guys, everybody's going to twist this around and hate it, but we need you guys to gather around and gather the troops and just keep this under arms and under wraps and just, make sure we pitchfork everybody and blah, 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 which, I don't know, guys. To me, as an investor, Smash had every right to come clean about it, whether you like him or not. And trust me, he rubbed a lot of motherfuckers the wrong way. He was very abrasive, a total douche at times, attacked anybody who had anything negative to say about it. But why all of a sudden is he to blame for everything for the Intellivision? Because he spoke up against it. Like, now it's like, oh, if this fails, it's people like Smash's fault and Pat and Ian's fault and Review Tech USA's fault and everybody's fault that's speaking up against this. No. Any way you want to slice it, this is not a good look to investors, and not every investor is a YouTuber. Not every investor is on Twitter or Instagram or social media. There's probably investors that aren't aware of this yet, and when it comes down, they're going to file investigation. They're going to file complaints, and you guys will be investigated alone for this admission of guilt. This is just for me. I mean, why didn't you have a professional run your company PR instead of getting a Skype call together with people that are going to act unhinged? I don't understand it. It's basically incriminating the whole entire group by what this stream was. And this stream was taken down, but a lot of people clipped it, which I got this from a different channel, the soundbite, which is why I didn't show the video itself, but showed the audio. They basically already knew what was going on. They spoke up, and they threw all the other Amico friends under the bus bigger than Smash JT would with this rant. This, I guess, was to discredit Smash, saying, hey, he's a snake, he betrayed us. But in the end, it discredits all of them as well, honestly. So I have no clue what the goal of this was. Who knows what else? The saying was Smash knows everything. What else could he be keeping back? Now, he did go on to say and address a a comment that was made, and that was people were asking Smash 24 hours before you backstabbed everybody. You commented on the Start Engine crowdfunding page supporting the product, and he came out, and I'm going to play another audio. He came out basically saying that he was asked by Tommy Tallarico to post a positive comment on the Start Engine. So let's listen to this.
And I saw Pat and Ian in the CU podcast say, yeah, Smash came to a epiphany, a realization, less than 24 hours after posting that comment on Start Engine. I posted the comment on Start Engine because Tommy asked me to.
So that's another red flag. Gathering the troops, telling people, a CEO of a company telling people to go and comment positive things to entice people to invest in something. It's kind of a conflict of interest there. You're supposed to also give full transparency, which that's another major red flag that's come with the Start Engine page, is that there was individuals on the page that were posting under their real name that apparently did not disclose their relationship with Tommy Tallarico or Intellivision. And they went back and had to do damage control and essentially admit that they have investments in the product. They also had to admit who they are. You have to, when you're involved with the SEC and you're doing investments and stuff, you have to be open. You can't just have people blindly post and put these generic blanket statements like, oh, the product's fantastic and blah, 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 and, you know, this and that. If you were literally commissioned by somebody or told, hey, commanded, like, hey, I need you to go post this and that has to be disclosed. Any kind of like type of, I guess, swag, merch, money, expense has to be disclosed by FTC guidelines, I believe. That's like if I made a sponsorship video, I have to put in the description and say in the video, hey guys, today's video is sponsored by Nintendo. Today's video is sponsored by Totino's. Today's video is sponsored by Robinhood. And I have to have like a hashtag sponsored and all this. There's individuals that are posting on the Start Engine not disclosing that. They're also making countless videos, I guess, promoting and advocating for the Amico and not being full disclosed whether they're investors or whether they're part of some kind of like sponsorship or being compensated. Now, and this is where a gray area comes in too, because some of these individuals have been tipped or given donations during official, I guess not official, but unofficial Amico live streams. Some of these individuals have Amico live streams where they break news, they provide inside information, and Intellivision employees like Tommy and them are giving them super chats and donations, which is fine and dandy. But this is a gray area. Is that a little more of like an off-the-record, unofficial, like, hey, buddy, here's a tip? Or is this more of a, hey, you're helping us promote Amico, here's your compensation? See, that's where it kind of, it starts to get a little gray. When you're calling yourself the only official source for exclusive Amico content, you need to disclose whether you're actually being compensated in any form or fashion with tips, donos, swag. You need to disclose your information. That's a lot like when I was in the Nintendo Ambassador program. Even though I wasn't getting paid, I had to disclose whether Nintendo gave me a product or a game code, or they gave me some kind of like news that I had, you know, there's news embargoes as well as game embargoes and stuff like that. You have to disclose at the end of the day where your news was provided from in a clear manner, and you have to disclose everything. And the biggest red flag of them all is the fact that there was an individual that posted not one comment, but a 2-comment thing on Start Engine. First, they didn't disclose anything. It was more like a casual comment vouching for the Start Engine. And then they had to go back and clarify that they actually had an investment. So that's a big ouch right there. You know, you basically, you have to be completely transparent, and this seems like the company is getting caught with its hand in its cookie jar. Now, here's the thing right here. To touch back on Smash saying Tommy asked them to do this, another individual made a video And basically, it also confirmed what Smash was saying was right, that this was a group of friends that would gather around and basically just organize campaigns to, I guess, be the unofficial PR of Amico. And let's go ahead and listen to this individual.
But there were plenty of times where it was like, all right, this person needs to not be our friends. And then all of a sudden they became the subject of the talk amongst people.
So basically, he's saying that if somebody said something bad against the Amico, they would gather around together and be like, okay, this person needs to not be our friend anymore. I could understand, let's say, for instance, somebody starting shit. Like, let's say you guys were friends with Smash, and he said, so-and-so is a piece of crap. So you guys are kind of like, okay, we're not fucking with that guy anymore. But this is an official CEO of a fucking company with you guys in private meetings and emails, basically directing you to cut ties with people for their product. Can you imagine if Shigeru Miyamoto told somebody, hey, you're not friends with that YouTuber anymore because they said bad things about Metroid Dread? This is exactly what that is. It's different when an individual, or let's say a crew of people, like let's say me, Billy, and Jay from the Game Chasers don't want to talk to this guy anymore. That's fucking different than Intellivision coming out and saying, hey, Billy, Jay, and Eric, you're not allowed to talk to this guy anymore because he said bad things. Come on.
And it happened. So there was, and maybe it was deliberate, I don't know, but there was an air of, guys, can you jump? Okay, how far? How about that? That's
he's
a nice
admitting.
thing. And it came to like, you know, clicking on likes and disliking and blocking and all kinds of stuff. And I stayed out of all of that. I didn't really.
So that he's saying he stayed out of it. That's kind of like how, you know, why are they not angry at this guy for speaking up now? They got sure as fuck mad at Smash JT for coming out and saying he was denouncing himself from the product. So let's continue on.
Blocked many people. I blocked 2 people because they were being excessive in their bullshit. It was more of that kind of environment. Oh, we shouldn't like this person, or this video's crap, so let's go contest it. Now, I don't know anything about.
See, so organizing each other to mass dislike and
to have things ready. But there's been times where a few of us had the luxury of knowing, hey, I got a video coming out this week at some time. Get ready to, you know, watch.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a clique of friends and saying, hey guys, you know, like being in a group chat. I'm in a group chat. Hey guys, I got a video coming up. Can you guys go watch, comment, and hit a like? Yeah, but when you're doing it as, I guess, official representatives of Intellivision, kind of like being involved and stuff like that, that's a huge chunk of conflict of interest right there, guys. Especially when investments are involved and you're going on to start engine pages and trying to manipulate, you know, the look unofficially. Like, this is why the big red flag here is that they could have had an official PR person handle this properly
and give you thoughts and all that stuff. But I think that's just friendly insider stuff that has nothing to do with nothing. I mean,
so yeah, that's fair. If
yeah,
it's
you can look at it as unethical or whatever, but when you develop friendships, that's kind of what happens. I'm used to an East Coast situation, and that's how it works out here. It probably still does work that way. I got my first state job.
So yeah, I mean, again, it's different if it's a group of friends that aren't in private meetings with CEOs and board members of a group that are getting exclusive information before investors can. You know, that's where the fucking issue's at. You can't be like, oh, we're just friends here and we're being attacked and blah, 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 if you're doing crap like this. And the mission of Guild is here. They literally legitimately admitted, hey, we're privy to private information where we pick up our pitchforks. That's essentially what it sounds. And there's a CEO, or at least now an ex-CEO, that was involved in this. And that's where I think the problem's at. So this doesn't look right. Going through PR documents, going on start engine pages, not disclosing proper, you know, transparency. This is where the fucking problem's at, and that's why I'm speaking out. This is nothing hoping that, you know, oh, I hope the Amico doesn't come out. I don't care about the console. That could come out or not. If the console's good, it's going to be successful on its own, or it's going to fail on its own. The problem I have is the fact that people are exposing, the own supporters are exposing themselves and admitting that they're doing weird stuff. And on top of the deceitful marketing that they had with Re-Res and Tipster and RGT, there's a lot of red flags here, guys. So anyways, I just kind of wanted to talk about it. I'll see you guys later.